Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins. Can't relax. Original. I am not the same.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of Pucks Across Borders, brought to you by the one and only First Round Collectibles, also on Total Apex Sports on X and Pucks Across Borders on YouTube. It is good to be back, Andre. We made it. It is the final. I was thinking about complaining that it took 2 days. Like, why did we have Tuesday and Wednesday off? Why didn't we just, do this? And then the players only have 1 day to get back to their teams, and then the entire continent is in snowstorm right now. But you know what? I'm not gonna, because it's game day, and now that it's here, it's all good, and I can't wait to get underway. Full disclosure, whatever, man. We're about vulnerability on this show. I've said this before. I'm in the middle of a move. I am at the new place. The place is a mess. Forgot my headphones at home. I have my Bluetooth headphones, and there's a delay in my voice. So I don't even know how we're going to do this show, but we're going to get through it, power through. We're going to be the opposite of the NBA. We're going to play hurt. Dude, watching PK Subban all over. I don't know if you saw the clips of him talking about. It just gets me fired up. I love hockey so much, and I'm a major sports fan. I love the NBA. I love baseball. Love football. But hockey's the best. And watching him on his rampage on ESPN throughout the day just gets me fired up. But listen, we're going to get to the game. We're going to get to other stuff tomorrow, but we're going to get to the game tonight. Before we do, Andre, how you feeling on a Four Nations final Thursday, bro?
Feeling pretty good. A little tired. Had some, I've been dealing with some frustrations in my personal life, but things are going pretty well. And as I told you before the show, I have a new job, so that's nice. I started on March 10th, and yeah, can't complain about that. So life's going pretty well, even if today wasn't the greatest.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. It's great seeing your friends get wins. So kudos to you. Speaking of wins, it's really unfortunate. Andre said, due to all the political the tensions between Canada and US, Andre said that if Canada wins, he'll no longer do the show with me. So you guys have to kind of pick between what you want to happen. Andre, it's here. We're gonna get to our picks, get to our predictions. I have some thoughts to share, but what's your just overall sense? We kind of talked about the tournament as a whole the other day, but what's just your general sense of the game tonight, of the hype kind of leading up to it, and whatever else you want to add about the Four Nations final tonight? I do got to say, before you go, it's remarkable how quickly everybody has just jumped on this train. Because I think there really was a lot of skepticism about how this tournament would play out, how it would translate, would the players even care? There's only 4 teams. Why aren't there more countries? And not tooting my own horn, I always liked this idea. I always thought that this was going to work. Of course, I had no idea the magnitude of it. Like this game tonight, I'm hearing, I don't know because I'm here in Canada, but I'm hearing in the States, this game is like front and center tonight, which is remarkable because that's not the way that hockey is down there. It's just not. So what's your overall thought on the tournament, and what are your thoughts leading into the game tonight?
Yes, like you, I mean, it's impossible to ignore. This was a home run, slam dunk, goal, hat trick, even of a tournament, whatever you want to call it. Just absolutely incredible from start to finish. And they're not going to saturate do it every year. At least that doesn't seem like the plan right now. So even better, you do this every couple of years, every 2, 3, whatever. Keep the hype going, keep the players interested, keep the fans interested. It's going to be great. What I'm hearing about this game is very hyped. There's a lot of a lot of people anticipating this game, and outside of the Stanley Cup, and I don't even know if every Stanley Cup gets this hype. Maybe if like the Blackhawks, the Rangers, the Kings, those are some teams I remember when they were in the Cup and it got that much hype. I'll give the Penguins that too. Sidney Crosby draws a lot of eyeballs. But there have been Stanley Cups in the past decade that have not gotten this much hype. There have been Olympic matchups in the past decade that have not gotten this much hype.
Agreed.
World Cup of hockey, stuff like that. This is huge for the NHL. This is huge for the sport of hockey in general. Obviously, you have the political theater of it all. This could be a Canada's Miracle on Ice moment, if you will. Even though it's not in Canada like, the US's was in 1980 at Lake Placid. But there's just a lot going on, just on and off the ice. There's so much intrigue. So tonight, if this is a good game, great game, instant classic, just this tournament is the best possible outcome for the NHL.
Yeah, and it's really funny, man, because like I'm hearing a lot, okay, on the positive side of things, all day, whether it's on, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM, or on TSN Radio here, or Sportsnet Radio up here, the Fan 590, they're having all these older Canadian players, right? Like Chris Pronger and Jerome McGinley and all these old guys who have, and they're not they just retired in the last 10 to 15 years, but all these guys that I grew up watching win gold medals, and you just listening to their perspective and listening to their stories of the olden days, you really do forget just how incredible best on best is at the international level. And I know that that's been a very common theme throughout this whole thing. It's been since 2016 since we've had best on best, and they haven't been at the Olympics since 2014, and that's the whole conversation. But when you're watching it, you really do forget how much this means. And I remember growing up, you love watching your favorite team, you love watching the playoffs. There's just something special about watching Team Canada at the Olympics or at the World Juniors, and to be able to watch this again, I really do think that we forgot as a collective hockey community just how much we really love this, just how much this actually does mean. I'm hearing, with regards to the political context of the whole thing, I think it's a mistake to ignore it, because it is there, for better or for worse. It just is there, right? With regards to, like we said the other day, and we're not going to get into the whole thing, but the 51st state and the tariffs and the whole thing, and by the way, there is a looming election for us too. Never mind the states, Canada is in its own political disaster right now. So there is a political context to this, whether you like it or not. That being said, people are comparing it to the Cold War of the 80s and the 72 Summit Series, and it's I don't think so. That seems a bit extreme. I don't think this is the 1980 you were referring to, and in the other tournaments throughout the 80s. I would not compare this to the USSR. I wouldn't. But nevertheless, this game is I mean, like you said, man, like I think that we underestimated just how much everybody missed best on best. And now Canada, US in the final. And the beautiful thing about this game, Andre, is that this is it. Like the Four Nations is never going to happen again. Like this is the long wait is over, and only like Four Nations tournament that we're ever going to have. And I think that that's what makes this a really cool moment as well.
Yeah, and stuff like this can't be replicated. It's lightning in a bottle right now. It's just up to the NHL to keep it going afterwards, and it seems like they have a pretty solid roadmap, which is a surprise. Who knew the NHL actually knew how to plan things?
That's the thing too, bro, is like I'm so pumped on this tournament, and I don't want to say anything negative, but like it's the NHL and they changed something for once and they got it right. Surprise, surprise, miracles do happen. But hey, listen, there is a game on the ice tonight. Let's dive right into it. Short and sweet show today. We are going to have a full show tomorrow, but let's dive into it. Puck drop is in an hour from now. Canada, US, even money, -110 on both sides. -1.5 for the US is +235. +1.5 for Canada, -300. The over is 5.5 at +110, and the under is -134. Andre, what do you got? Canada, USA. I feel like this is just, we're both just going to pick our countries. I feel like that's inevitable, but you know what? I want to hear both sides of it. Let's see what we got. Andre?
Yeah, I was actually just going to skip that part. Your assumption's right, at least on my end. Listen, the players are saying it's for somebody else now, but I think they entered this thing, and I think they still are in this thing for Johnny Gaudreau. So first and foremost, that's what USA for sure. But I mean, I picked them before the tournament for a reason, and it wasn't just because I live in America. It was the goaltending. It was Connor Hellebuck. And to add on top of that, the U.S. hasn't allowed more than 26 shots in a game this entire tournament. I know it's only 3 games, small sample size, but they're limiting the amount of shots their goalies are facing, and they have the best goaltending group in the tournament. So I really like that. For that reason, I really like Hellebuck under 27.5 saves. I'm seeing that at -130 right now. I do like the under in this game. I know it's at 5.5, -130, but you know, we saw these teams play once already. Did very comfortably finish under the total. 3-1 final was 2-1 for most of the game. Yeah, I'm expecting a low scoring battle, physical, not a ton of events or as it pertains to shots. And I think US is going to come out on top again. I'm going to stick to my guns and trust the goaltending to bring it home. So me and JC, we agree on something, and that's the bald eagle flying high tonight.
I just can't believe that the word eagle came out of Jordan's mouth. Such a hater over there. I can't believe he even said the word eagle. But no, you know what, man? I don't remember. What did I pick? I feel like I may have picked the US at the beginning of the tournament. Did I say? I don't remember.
I feel like you did because of the goaltending.
That's right. Yeah. I did. I've completely flipped on that. But here's why. When you watch the game on Saturday night, there's no mistake who the better team was. It was absolutely the US. started off hot. I think Canada, for the most part, carried the first period. For the most part, I wouldn't say they were dominant by any stretch, but I do think that they carried play for a lot of that first period. And even if you watch the game, possession time favored Canada. I thought Canada spent more time in the U.S. zone, but Canada made two massive mistakes that led to two massive goals. And I just think that Canada is just too loaded. There's too many professionals, and I just cannot see those mistakes happening once again. For that reason, I'm with you on the under. It makes me a little nervous because it's so obvious, like we saw this in Game 7 last year against Florida. You have a 2-1 final. It just feels like in these games, and this really does feel like a Game 7. All these games have, felt like playoff hockey. So it does feel like the under 5.5, and it being minus 134 just kind of tells you, what you need to know. But it does feel like the minus 5.5 the under 5.5 is absolutely at play here. I just think for Canada, it like those mistakes just won't happen again. I also think when you have two good teams like this, rarely do they beat like the other two games in a row. I just feel like if this was a best of 7, it would be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so what I think is a good thing for Canada, which the U.S. didn't really have, is they had adversity throughout this tournament. USA, like you lost against Sweden the other night. The game didn't really matter. You had so many guys on the sideline. I don't feel like that game really mattered as far as like you lost. I don't think that was adversity really. So to me, I just think Canada has had to battle. They beat Sweden 4-3, should have been a bigger margin. They beat Finland 5-3. We didn't even talk about that game, how it was 4-0 and the Finns made it 4-3 in the last 6 minutes of the game. That shouldn't have happened. Obviously, the game against the U.S. So I just think that Canada has made more mistakes to learn from and to grow from together and figure out. Now, the flip side of that is maybe, Canada's the team that made the most mistakes. So, U.S. should probably win this tournament. I do like what you said about how little shots they let on Connor Hellebuck. I also think haven't you guys only allowed 4 goals this whole tournament, if memory serves correctly? Right, like that didn't go well.
1-1-2.
Yeah. So to me, like those are absolutely reasons why I would lean towards the U.S. here. The one thing that scares me for you guys is Charlie McAvoy being out. He was a force to be reckoned with on Saturday night. He was a big difference maker Saturday night. And him being not there worries me for the U.S. On the other side of it, Cale Makar didn't play on Saturday night, and he's back now. So that, I think, is a huge subtraction for you guys and a huge addition for Team Canada. So I'm going to be really interested to see that side of it. I like Canada minus 110. I'm not making this my play, but I'm not scared of Canada minus 1.5 at plus 240. If it's 3-1 game, 2-1 late with the empty netter, that wouldn't shock me. Either way, like even if the U.S. wins, I feel like a 2-1, 3-1 score is probably what we're looking at here. So that's where I'm going. As far as props go, and all that stuff, I do on FanDuel, they have boosted Connor McDavid for 1+ point at plus 125. So obviously, if you have FanDuel, I love that boost. I also, I don't love the odds. Actually, they're not. Okay. Never mind. I actually love these odds. Cale Makar, 3+ odds, plus 108. For him in this tournament, not being there Saturday, I think he's going to go off tonight, and I can see him putting up 3+ shots. Cale Makar at plus 108. Amazing.
Difference maker. Talking about Cale Makar.
Huge.
He's going to be hungry tonight, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right, best bets, bro. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do for our best bets? You're taking America, I'm taking Canada. We're both taking the under. Maybe we just leave the side off of it. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, I was gonna make mine Hellbook under 27.5 saves, that minus 130. Because I mean, let's assume Canada gets 28, 29 shots. He lets in 2, reasonable amount.
Yep.
It's still under 27.5. So that's what I'm rolling with here. Hellbook under 27.5 saves.
I love it. For whatever reason on FanDuel, you can't same game parlay that. I don't know why. That is minus 138 though on FanDuel, so I do love that. All right, so let's do it this way, man. Connor Hellebuyck and the under, and then put the under in a parlay, and we'll have Andre's parlay. You might as well put Team USA in there too. We'll have Andre's parlay and have Mark's parlay.
I actually like that. I really like that. My parlay.
We might as well, bro. Let's do it.
My parlay featuring the United States of America winning, their goalie having fewer than 27.5 saves because he's not even going to face that many shots, let's be honest. And then just under 5.5 is plus 700.
Ooh, with Team USA winning, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I have the game as a pick'em also. So minus 110.
Yeah. Love it. Give me 1 sec here. I didn't realize there's a bunch of boosts for this game. Okay, here we go. So, Canada money line as a pick'em under 5.5 goals. Cale Makar 3+ shots on goal. Throw that 50% boost on there, and it is plus 849. So without the boost, it's plus 566, but with the boost, it is plus 849.
I did not apply my boost, and I'm going to be completely honest with you because I'm doing this on my laptop. I'm not even sure if I want to go through the hassle of doing that. So I'm just going to leave it.
What's the percentage of the boost?
Let's see. It's a profit boost. And it doesn't say. That's very suspicious. Yeah, it really. Oh, it says profit boost reward may vary. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
All right, we'll bite.
700. Results may vary, but I'm plus 700.
Absolutely love it. No, this is going to be a great game tonight. I'm really glad that it went this way. Of course, no disrespect to Finland, no disrespect to Sweden. I just think if the whole point of these type of tournaments is to grow the game, and let's just be real about this, America and hockey as far as popularity goes, I'm not talking like, listen, the hockey program for Hockey USA is unbelievable, and it's if not caught up to Canada already. It's right there with Hockey Canada. But as far as the popularity level goes, it's still the fourth most popular like major sport. So to have it Canada, USA, to have the spotlight on it like it is right now, is just wonderful. Again, Andre's parlay is Team USA, Connor Hellebuck, and the under on his saves and the under in total goals, 5.5. Mine is Canada on the money line, Cale Makar 3+ shots, and under 5.5 as well. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. As always, like I said, shorter show today, but we will be back tomorrow to break down the game. We'll tell you all about it. Also, we're going to get you set up for the weekend. The NHL is back, 24 games over the course of Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to talk about all that. Shout out to First Round Collectibles, promo code SportsAddict for 10% off your order. They have an ongoing sale up to 50% off. Tons of cards. With our promo code, you get up to 60% off selected cards. FirstRoundCollectibles.com. Shout out to Total Apex Sports. Thanks for having us on board, and we will see you next time.